if we can get them to relax more, because everybody likes a fun dog.
Right.
But everybody gets annoyed with it after a while, right? So most owners like enjoy the fun. And
Yeah,
they go,
the
wow.
hard part is barbecuing.
Right.
It's like, now I can just tell them.
Right, and that's, you practice this and then they have those skills is finally developed as their play skills. So now, right now their play skills are up here,
Yeah.
and their crazy skills,
Yeah.
but they're like listening and quiet skills, they're just starting to get them. So if we work on those a bunch, then we have dogs that can play and be crazy, and then you say down, they go, and which is
like
really the magic kind of trick. And especially for owners, new owners, you know, these guys are so high energy, they need to be able to hop in a spot and just hang out so people can feel
Hey, look at Nicholas, he's just sitting there ignoring me.
Yeah, he's doing great. Believe it or not, now, you're right, he's crazier than she is in some ways, but he actually does better with this than she does. She struggles more with listening, and he struggles in some different areas, but in here, she's more apt to kind of push the boundaries more than he is, which is funny, because he's really kind of the really intense one. So, the other challenge is when you get them really close together, they just feed off each other.
Yeah, they're great together.
Yeah, no, they're great together, but it can be challenging just trying to manage them, you know, on a walk and make sure that they're really polite and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of move them around now. So I didn't give her a release. I didn't say anything, so she shouldn't get up yet. So the only way she can get off that mat is if I come over, grab the leash and say heel, or I recall her, say Indy come, or break. And break means she's free to go. So if you were to practice this at your own place, say you're barbecuing, you've got her in a down, like, you know, in place her in a down, and you say, okay, now it's free time. Break, and now she's free to like run around like a mad.
She'll know what that means, huh? Break.
Yeah, but you have to practice it. You guys have to practice.
So is that the word you used?
That's what we use, yeah. But honestly, break has been used this much. Right now we've done, because we were trying to not create more excitement. You know what I mean? So break I've only used a few times with her. Most of the time it's heel, walk with me, or recall, come to me. So those are the ones, but it's only 5 days, so it's like a real brief thing for them. So they've been living this other way for a long time. So you guys, the homework is on you to keep it up. And watch what it looks like, the commands, the mechanics of it.
Look, he's anticipating.
He's doing good though, right?
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I've actually got his feet nailed to the mat.
He's a good dog. We just try to peek around, see what's going on.
No, he's doing great. But if they make a mistake, it's totally normal, because right now we've got new energy in here. They've got you here, which is more excitement stuff for them. Heel. So I say heel. That means you've got to walk with me. Place. Good. Sit. Down. Good girl. Indy, come. Good. Place. Good girl. Down. Very nice. So once again, the only way she can get off of this is if I come up next to her, say heel, and she walks with me. Nope. Or recall her to me, or say break. So right then she went to go check out some food bowls. I didn't give her permission to do that, so that's not on the agenda. She's not allowed to do that. So as soon as she made that mistake, all I did was calmly say no, right? Calmly say no, go over, give the leash a little pop, and then put her back exactly where she's supposed to be. So give her the verbal correction, then come over, give the physical correction, and then put her back where she was. And like I said, these guys have been being nutty for so long, it's hard for them. This is brand new. So after you guys work on this for a month or so, you have rock star pit bulls. Yep. Place. Good girl. So before I get her to place, as I walk either her or Nick. Do you call him Nicholas or Nick?
Nicholas.
You call him Nicholas. No, you said that. It's okay. Right. No. That was a setup. Place. We said his name several times.
The basic.
Well, they're still way more relaxed than I've ever seen them.
Yep.
And that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is after 5 days. If you guys did this for a month or two, just everything that we teach you and everything we put in this video, you'll have dogs that you can adopt out so quick.
Yeah, because honestly, this is what owners want. Owners want dogs that can be calm as well. They want dogs that can be fun, but they want dogs that can be calm. So I come over, grab his leash. Now he can't get up, no, because I haven't said anything yet. So just because I grab his leash doesn't mean anything. Then I say, heel. He knows now I'm free to go. Place. Good. Good boy. Down. All the way. So we don't say stay with the way we train. We just give the command, and that means you have to stay until I say something else.
Okay.
So you won't hear us saying stay. I'm not going to be yelling, nothing like that. It's all about calm stuff. Even if he makes a mistake, say no, calmly walk over, correct with the leash, and put him back.
So this should be a quiet ride home, huh?
If you make it a quiet ride, absolutely.
Yeah. I just gotta tell them heel. That's it. They should stay for like the whole ride.
Well, it's not as simple as that. They haven't been in your car working, so every new environment poses a new challenge. So my suspicion would be that they'd be better than they've been in your car before, but I don't know.
So in the house, they know what to do. So when the car rehabilitation is
they
saying,
know what to do.
okay.
Now we have to transfer it to your car, to your house. You
Everywhere that they go.
Yeah. Well, eventually it starts to generalize, but like I said, this is 5 days in. So right now, they're going to go to your car and they're going to be like, oh, it's Disneyland again. You have to say, no, it's not Disneyland again. It's new rules. And once again, this doesn't mean that they can't have fun and can't do all that other stuff. They're going to have plenty of time to do that.
But when you want them to listen, they'll do what you say.
Right, we want it in balance. They've been out of balance. They've been only having like crazy, intense, hyper stuff, and they haven't had quiet listening stuff, so we want to bring that back in balance. So, pick up the leash, heel. Good.
It's almost like a show dog.
Bring him up here. Now I'm not going to put him in a spot. Sit. Good. Now, awesome. So he's doing it just by default. Now, if I want to give him the down command, I put him in sit, I take the leash, I hold it in my left hand if he's on my right, drop this, and then I just put a little bit of leash pressure, a little bit of pressure with my foot, and he'll go straight to the ground. Typically he does it even without that pressure. But each new person, especially in the beginning, he's going to want to see if you mean the same thing that I mean. Okay. So he might challenge you and demand that you are also doing the same thing.
Okay.
So once again, I don't say stay, I just put him in the command and walk away. And then by doing what I'm doing right now, I'm actually strengthening the command.
Yeah, I see it's not following you all. Like
but it's a challenge for
it,
right? So these would be good exercises for you guys to do when you have a few minutes around the house. You don't have to sit and march. You don't have to sit. You don't have to march them around the house constantly. Go, go, go. But do a little bit of exercises, place, down, and then put them somewhere and have them just stay there for 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour.
Oh, that long?
Oh yeah. That's how we get this stuff. That's why we have this good stuff. So once I do a little bit of work, then I'll put them in a down. If you weren't here, I put them in a down, and then I might do some work on the computer for 5 minutes, or might walk out there and go do something in that room. And that's the challenge, is that they stay there no matter what I'm doing, right? So this is how you build that stuff. The stuff isn't like, oh, he does it down, he knows it down. That's easy. Getting him to stay in a down, stay in place when like the door opens and people come in and dogs move around. That's when we get the magic stuff. No. So I grabbed the leash, he got up, but I didn't say anything.
Right.
So I have to disagree with that because I don't want him anticipating. So I just said no, and he went right back in. So that's another good exercise for you and Royce to do, right? So when you've got them or any dogs like this in a down or in place, you walk up, grab the leash, challenge them. It's just like a test at school.
Right.
We don't want to make it easier. We want to strengthen this stuff so they can be more confident, more calm, more tuned in, more listening, all that stuff.
We don't want to think he's going somewhere unless you say something.
Yeah, and it's really about strengthening these commands. It's not about being hard on them. It's about strengthening the commands. So
the more you do it, the more you'll carry on with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the more you guys practice, the more easily it'll transfer to other owners as well.
But I can do this at home without a leash, right? I mean, because
we want the leashes on right now.
Because we're using the prong collar that he's wearing.
Right.
So the prong collar is a training collar. So if he gets up right now, you see Sean do a little pop on the training collar. That's pressure telling him knock it off.
Okay.
So
if you don't have that leash on, you're screwed. Right? Right now, you're screwed because this is brand new. So you have to have a tool that empowers you to not have to yell and scream, Nicholas, get over here, when he starts running away or giving you a hard time. That's why I can be so calm, is because I've got a tool on that empowers me to walk up, give them a pop, give them information, tell them what I want, and guide them around calmly.
Now what about when I put them out in the yard by themselves?
You take them off and let them go play.
Okay.
Yeah, the leash and prong are only on when you're working with them, when they're on a walk or when they're doing some work in the
Okay,
house.
so normally if I was gonna go home and mess with them and train them, I mess with the leash for an hour or so and
Yeah.
sit, whatever
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
But then when I put them out in the yard without the leash,
Take it off.
they just can do what they want.
Free time.
But as
Yeah,
long as they
so-
come back in 2 hours later, I'll put the leash back on,
That's
and they
it.
should follow my commands.
Yeah.
The leash and prong. So the leash and prong
Yeah,
collar.
so the prong collar is really like, they've got a million different
Chains.
necklaces on them right now.
I know, I've
So-
seen all that.
Yeah, so they've got the choke chains they came with and another collar. Those choke chains are really big. So if I was you guys, we just left them on, but I would take the chokes off because you don't need them. I would just use the prong collars. They speak much more clearly to the dog. They'll empower you to have a better situation. And
Oh, the ones with the pins?
yeah,
Those?
yeah. So that's why we're getting such an easy time of it, because I can actually communicate with him. He's a huge guy. You know, both of them are really strong, but he's a really, really strong guy. You try and use a choke chain on a guy like that, you have to work pretty hard. And it's hard on him because he doesn't get the messages clearly. So the pressure that comes from a choke chain, in my opinion, isn't nearly as effective as a prong collar.
Okay.
Much easier on the dog. Heel. Good boy. Place. Good. Sit. Good. Down. Good. He's still like, do you really mean it? Do you really
I know, because he's not used to this.
Right? But that's great. So he's doing what I'm looking for.
He's
So-
doing really good for 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
He's pretty awesome. I think they're more challenged, honestly, on the walks together. Their energy's really high on the walks. I've got them, they walk really nicely, but they see other dogs and they get excited and all that stuff, which, we definitely want to make sure you guys keep working on that, because that's not going to be a fun thing for other owners if they're not walking really nice.
Right. Yeah, nobody wants to get dragged down the street, right?
No. So, he got up, but I didn't say anything, so I say no, and then guide him back down. But he started to do it on his own. Nicholas, come. Good boy. Place.
So place is any object with 4 corners. So it could be a mat, a bed, anything like that. But place is...
Okay, so it wouldn't just be like in the middle of the kitchen.
Yeah, like this place.
Oh.
That's a place command. So he walked up there, he said place right before he walked on it. Nope.
No.
And then that's where he has to stay. He can't leave that mat. And she's in place command as
Yeah.
well. So when he had him here on the wood floor, that was just down. Because that's
Place has to be an actual object.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use the word place, it has to be an object like this. Down can be anywhere, right?
Okay.
So down can be in the middle of the yard, can be in the middle of my floor here. But with these guys, because it's challenging for them, they've got so much energy they're competing with. When I put them in place, I also say down.
So down is kind of temporary to them. Place means they got to stay there for an hour.
Well, no, actually, they're kind of the same. So what I'm saying is that place is an object like this, and they have to stay there for 10 years if I don't tell them otherwise. And down is not an object, it's anywhere around, but they'd also have to stay there for 10 years if I didn't say anything.
Right.
So the duration doesn't change depending on place or down.
Okay.
It just is the freedom. No. Down. So he's, once again, at the bowls of food over there. He's kind of tempted.
So for dogs this hyper, it probably takes a little longer, huh?
What's that?
For dogs this hyper, it probably
Oh yeah,
takes a
yeah.
little longer to get
There's
to.
so much noise in his head. That's the thing. It's like they're not bad dogs. They're not snotty dogs. They're not nasty dogs. They're just dogs that have got so much noise in their head of like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That to just sit still and be quiet is really challenging for them because they haven't practiced a lot of it. So, but you can see it after 5 days. If we can get this, then after a month they can be rock stars. So I'm just going to keep working them around a little bit. I'm going to work her a little bit. Heel. Yep, come on. Place. Good. Sit. Down. Very nice.